A CNN news crew goes to film at a haunted house and ends up getting scratched and shoved. A live TV forecast in Argentina catches what looks like a ghost running across a boardwalk, and in the middle of a UK newscast, two glowing objects streak past the anchor's window. This is unexplained phenomena caught on live TV broadcasts. In 2015, a CNN reporter, Katie Kairos, and her cameraman went to a house in Hanover, Pennsylvania to film a segment about a woman named Deanna Simpson who said her home was haunted. Deanna claimed she'd been living with spirits for 7 years, and they weren't the friendly kind. She told the crew the ghosts had attacked her husband, and their pets, and that she'd heard voices and screaming at night. But it wasn't just what Deanna was describing that was creepy. Stuff started happening on camera. Cameraman Nick Petrillo suddenly felt something burning his hand. When he looked down, there were these fresh scratches on his wrist. Deanna didn't seem surprised either. It's because you're telling the story. They don't want it out there. That's their way of warning, she said, before sprinkling holy water on him. Kairos later said she also felt something touch and pinch her during the filming. The crew caught orbs on camera and watched a door slam shut after Deanna asked whatever it was there to show itself. Deanna told them she had recordings of voices like laughing children when no one else was home as well. And she said there were at least 5+ spirits living there. Some women here that are protecting me, but the majority are bad, dark forces, inhuman, she said. During a 2023 live episode of the Argentine TV show Fenómenos, co-host Matthias Bertolotti was in the middle of giving the weekend forecast when the show switched to one of their outdoor cameras, a live feed overlooking a quiet boardwalk in Corrientes City. Everything looked totally normal until a viewer at home spotted something off. People watched as what looked like a human figure ran across the boardwalk. Oh, a person ran along the boardwalk? Incredible story, James. Where do you find these things? Well, there's more to it than that. Take a look. It's semi-translucent, ghostly looking. When the host replayed the footage during the broadcast, both of them were clearly shaken. Bertolotti leaned in and said, "It's a person running and then vanishing. There are no legs." He told viewers there was no editing or trick involved. The feed was live the whole time. During a live news broadcast in the UK on February 1st, 2021, viewers caught something strange happening behind the anchor that had nothing to do with the story being read. Through the large studio windows, a glowing object zipped across the sky, bright, fast, clearly visible on camera. The clip started spreading almost immediately online, of course, especially after conspiracy blogger Scott C. Waring picked it up. Waring, who runs the site UFO Sightings Daily, posted the footage claiming it showed, quote, 100% proof of UFOs over London. He said he slowed down the video and noticed something even weirder, saying what looks like one UFO is actually two. The UFOs are flying side by side. He compared their movement to US Air Force jets that take off in pairs, saying the two lights seem to move in a wingman formation. The video was filmed during a standard live broadcast, nothing edited or staged. Some viewers thought it could have been a drone or reflection, but what do you think this thing was? During a live morning broadcast in Honduras, journalist Carlos Molina experienced something really odd. While reading viewer messages alongside his co-host Pablo Zapata, he suddenly froze as his glass of water just slid across the table. He also said that seconds before this even happened, he'd felt this chill run down his spine. Carlos made it clear no one on the crew was pulling a prank. I felt something strange in my body. The action didn't just demonstrate itself in the glass, but in me as well. What I felt was a supernatural phenomenon, a chill throughout my body before the glass moved, he said. The table is also flat, and apparently there were no strings or wires, and it all happened live on air. During a live feed from the International Space Station on January 5th, 2020, viewers watching NASA's stream noticed something strange drifting across the blackness of space. The camera showed what looked like a glowing object, faint but clearly moving during a broadcast that was supposed to be all about a scheduled spacewalk by astronauts Jessica Meir and Christina Koch. The clip was later shared on the YouTube channel Spacelink TV, and it shows a light gliding upward in the distance before slowly fading out of view. Researcher Thomas Mike Jensen was the first one to analyze it. At first he thought it might just be a lens reflection or a sun flare, but after studying the movement frame by frame, Jensen wasn't so sure. It was moving slowly, and it is far from the Earth. You can see it moving out of the picture, he said, pointing out that reflections don't usually pulsate or travel like that either. The light looked like it was moving independently. It didn't look like glare. No one ever confirmed what it actually was, and NASA never issued a statement about it. This one always gives me the shivers. During the live coverage of Queen Elizabeth II's funeral on September 19, 2022, something really freaky was heard over the air. As the camera followed the hearse moving through London, viewers suddenly heard this.
that death is irreversible and the fact that she's trapped.
As you can see,
a faint female voice whispers something, and then the broadcast immediately cuts back to the regular commentary. At the time, people weren't sure what they heard. Most people probably didn't even notice anything at first. But when someone posted the clip online, commenters determined that the voice said that death is irreversible in the fact that she's trapped. Did someone's microphone get picked up by mistake? Very likely, but that statement is just so chilling, isn't it? That death is irreversible and the fact that she's trapped? Not exactly comforting words to hear during a funeral. On November 26, 1977, viewers in southern England got way more than their usual Saturday evening programming. While ITN's Andrew Gardner was reading the news about clashes in Rhodesia, the broadcast suddenly went dead and was replaced by a deep buzzing sound, and then a voice started speaking. The voice claimed to be Vrillon, representing the Ashtar Galactic Command. For nearly 6 minutes it spoke. This is the voice of Vrillon, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the skies. We come to warn you of the destiny of your race and your world. It went on to urge humans to remove their weapons, live in peace, and prepare for a great awakening as the planet entered the new age of Aquarius. At one point it warned there are many false prophets and guides at present operating on your world. They will suck your energy from you. Your inner divine self will protect you. And after 6 minutes, everything just went back to normal again. Investigators later found the hijack came through the Hannington transmitter, which rebroadcast an off-air signal from a nearby unauthorized transmitter. Apparently, someone with some serious skill had managed to override the signal. So even though this was a technical error, there were and still are a good number of people who actually do believe this message came from somewhere else. On August 5th, 2009, viewers tuning in to BBC North East's morning news saw something odd happening live on air. Anchor Colin Briggs was calmly reading the day's headlines, and behind him was a live webcam shot of the Millennium Bridge in Newcastle. Well, suddenly this bright white streak shot across the sky in the background. It wasn't falling down like a meteor would, it zipped upward, then vanished completely. Some started filming their TVs and uploading the clips to YouTube, convinced they'd just seen a UFO on live news. Others said it had to be a bird, maybe a toy plane, but the way it moved didn't really match either. Even Nick Pope, who used to investigate UFO reports from the UK Ministry of Defence, said the footage didn't look like a bird and that the movement was, quote, genuinely strange. The BBC later did a short follow-up asking viewers what they thought, but they never gave any real explanation. All these years later, nobody's managed to figure out exactly what flashed across the sky that morning. In 1971, NBC aired a segment that really shocked viewers, a real-life exorcism. At the time, most people didn't even know what an exorcism was. The 6-minute piece followed Edwin and Marcia Becker, a Chicago couple who claimed their house was haunted. Reporter Carol Simpson introduced the story, letting the Beckers describe the strange things happening at home. After the Catholic Church declined to get involved, the couple turned to the Independent Spiritualist Church in Chicago. The exorcism was led by Reverend William Darrell Davis and medium Joseph DeLuise. Everyone in the house, including the news crew, had to wear crucifixes for protection. At one point, DeLuise went into a trance and claimed to channel the voice of a spirit, an old woman speaking through him. While the ritual went on, a strong gust of wind shook the blinds. The team also used a mirror, offered communion to the spirit, and spread blessed salt around the rooms. Broadcast wrapped up with Simpson saying that the house had been quiet for several days since the exorcism, leaving viewers with this unsettling glimpse into a real haunting happening live on television. What is this thing hovering in the sky? This clip comes from a live news broadcast in Rio Branco, Brazil, back on February 9th, 2009. TV Gazeta had gone out to film after locals started reporting this weird, colorful object floating above the city. Camera caught it clearly, this glowing shape just hanging there, shifting colors from blue to red to white. More than 25 people saw it that night. Witnesses said it stayed up there for around 2 hours, barely moving before slowly drifting across the sky from east to south, then south to west. It didn't look like a plane, and it definitely wasn't acting like one. Drones existed back then, but in 2009 they weren't something you'd normally see flying over a city. Whatever this thing was, nobody ever managed to explain it. The broadcast just ended with everyone staring up, wondering what they were really looking at. All that said though, I've been your host James, and I'll catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.